Vikings here at Virginia High tonight. We'll be at Viking Hall next Saturday for round two. This is a girls only event tonight, ladies night only. And so as we were talking about last night, JV still underway here at Virginia High with Lady Vikings with a 2-point lead as we speak right now. And if everything goes according to plan, and it won't, because we're tied up. The clock's still running. And we're going to have overtime now. So for I don't know how many minutes, but anyway, it is Virginia High and the Lady Vikings here at Virginia High, and so we'll be going into a 3-minute overtime here, but we'll stay right here and give you some pregame stuff for the Lady Vikings. They did win last night over David Crockett by a score of 65-34, and it picked up a conference win. The Lady Vikings now 10-12 overall, and 3-4 in conference play. Virginia High's going to come in this game at 10-3 overall. They picked up a win over John Battle 68-54 on Monday night at John Battle. So Lady Vikings again for win last night over David Crockett. A much needed win for the Lady Vikings. They had actually lost 5 in a row, and they just needed something good to happen, Chris, and they finally did. And Michaela Richards got back on track last night, ends up with 16 points, all 16 of those coming in the first half though. And she played about 3 minutes into the third quarter, and that was it. So she kind of got off the schneid a little bit, hit 3 threes last night, had a really good game. Haley Hatcher with 10 assists last night and 11 points. She's the first Lady Viking to reach the 10 assist mark for a Lady Viking ever, which is really hard to believe considering that you've had Dee Montgomery and Ashley Mitchell, and you've had both those, and it's really, really hard to believe. But Haley Hatcher with 10 assists last night for the Lady Vikings to go with her 11 points, a double-double last night for Asha Delaney and for Addison Minor at the half. Addison had 3 points last night, ends up with 17 for the game, both in double figures and rebounds as well. You get 10 points from Asha Delaney last night. It really kind of helped the Lady Vikings out. If you can get, you're going to get the board work from her and all that kind of stuff, but if you can get 10 points out of Asha, it's a pretty good chance that you're going to have a winning night. And the Lady Vikings got the free throw line, did what they're supposed to do, and played really well last night. So we're at the home stretch for the Lady Vikings. Needless to say, the district tournament for the Vikings and Lady Vikings begins February the 13th at Science Hill. So they've got a lot to look forward to. They're in a tie for fourth right now, and that's where you want to be. Again, the first two positions that we talked about earlier, that the first and second automatically qualify for the regional tournament now, which is something Big 7 adopted this year, and haven't been doing it. The District 2 and 3 and down that way been doing it for years. And
I think that's great for those teams. They get a reward for a good regular season,
right?
And then also they those, if they're your number 1 and number 2 seeds, they have the best shot at advancing on down the road, and that gives them a chance to rest a little bit and get ready. I think that's a perfect way to do it.
Well, I do too. And the thing is that it's actually going to give them a bye game, both of them, and so you're going to be having whatever 4 through 7 playing each other, and with the winners taking on each of those two, after that, and that's a good. I think it's a good way to do it, and hopefully they can continue to make improvements and get towards that. For the Lady Vikings to make improvements and start getting towards at least that 4 spot. The 1 and 2 is definitely probably not going to happen now. It could, because they still have DB and Crockett left, and Boone. So you've got it, but they're all bunched right there together. DB and Science Hill on the road, and Boone at home, and Boone is ranked 9th in the state now, and they're really good.
Yeah, they are.
And they're beating everyone and badly, and so I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to catch them. In all honesty, I don't foresee it happening. But the guys' side's still wide open, and Coach Witcher's guys they're in a tie for 5th right now. So you still have the guys that are ahead of you, and you're playing 3 of them at home and 2 of them on the road. You got a chance to do something. So we'll see how it plays out. But again, it's the Lady Vikings and Lady Bearcats tonight. Of course, this is a game that was scheduled for tonight because the Lady Vikings were hosting the Doc Maples tournament, Holiday Hoops tournament, right before Christmas, as they usually do, and their tournament started the day before the guys played the VT game over here at Virginia High, so they had it scheduled for this Wednesday night, which is the reason we're here, and not down at Quaker Steak and Lube, which we will be back down there next week, but we will be there an hour earlier as well because we have our National Signing Day broadcast with Scott Gray, and all the guys will be in to talk football from 6 to 8, and so Chris will be with me, I'm sure, down at Quaker Steak and Lube next Wednesday, and we'll have Inside Viking Sports from 5 to 6 next week. So we got a lot of things going on, and man, I tell you what, it's getting, like I said, it's getting down to crunch time at the end of the season. I mean, before we know it, we're going to be playing baseball and softball and soccer, and tennis team be out looking for another state championship and everything else. Track going at it. Yeah, I mean, it's we're basically about 4 weeks away from spring sports.
Right. Well, it's that time of year when you go out and you see Randy Irvin and those guys out on the track working out, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And I've been down there, coming into the pool for diving practice, and they're out there working already every day.
They are. Of course,
really good.
I know that the Tennessee High's baseball team, they have been throwing. They can't do anything else, but they have been throwing some under the watchful eye of no one. And so I know that they're getting ready to do some stuff. And speaking of baseball, they'll be having the Diamond Dinner February the 15th. On Friday night, I think it's what night that is, and then the 16th is the 50-inning baseball game, and I do not know if I'm going to attempt that yet or not. I hadn't decided. I just can't decide. Am I too old for it or not? My heart says yes, my head says no, but but we'll keep everybody abreast on what I was going there. But again, it's the Lady Vikings and the Lady Bearcats coming up here shortly. We're about, I'm not going to say it's 27-24 Lady Vikings with a lead in the JV game. So
just 31.7 seconds.
There was 2 seconds left to end the game. So, we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and take a break so we can get ready for the game here on ESPN Tri-Cities, brought to you by Toyota Bristol, your down home deal. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
I still like this. I like this gym.
It's easy to see in.
Yeah. Even though you're sitting up here, this isn't bad.
Wrestling team just won 50-12, but Tim didn't tell me who it was, Virginia High or Crockett.
Oh, they